there was some growing pains, and there still is growing pains, just like any business, right? What were some of the early growing pains that you found when you started adding leverage?
Um, I mean, I think sometimes it's like it's hard to give up control. Like it was, still to this day, it's still hard to give up some control for me. It's just because I have that control freak, right? And you just kind of feel like no one's going to do it as good as you. And maybe there's some truth to that in your brain that you convince yourself of, but obviously if you're not doing it, then no one's doing it as so that's the issue. You keep on putting it on your list, like I gotta do this, and then you're like, okay, well, I didn't get to that thing today, so I guess I'll get to it tomorrow, right? So that was one of the things that was, a big thing that was an issue for me. And then just accepting that my people are going to fail, right? Like, and just understand that that's part of the process. Like, and obviously as we continue over time, we've built in, with your help, building in better buyer processes, better seller processes, better client follow-up processes, right? So we have a lot of systems in place to try to prevent that, but it's still going to happen. Like no one, a new agent to the industry is not going to show a house as good as I am, right? Like that's just probably not going to happen. But now it's my job to figure out how to accelerate that learning curve for that new agent as fast as possible so they can get to my level and exceed me. Like that's my goal, right? I want them to be better buyers agents than me. I want them to be a good listing agent. Like I never really thought myself as a good buyer's agent or a good listing agent because in the end of the day, I'm still an engineer, So, my natural skill is never sales. So, so I'm just constantly kind of, that was just a big thing. And it was hard, especially, it's hard today still when you lose a deal because, you know, a particular client doesn't want to work with one of your newer agents and they kind of like, you can't really save it or something. And I just have to accept that that's going to happen. Right. So, but it hurts a lot more in the beginning because you need that money for growth, So, I mean, obviously I still want the money today, but it hurts more in the growth perspective at the beginning. Um, and then the third thing is which is still like a process of happening, right? Is just me slowly getting out of production. I mean, that's just been a growing pain. Because, even as we continue to grow, the amount of business we have and opportunities we have exceeds the amount of agents that we have in terms of handling the production. So I'm still at this point taking on some clients. It's dramatically less, but it's still I would still be a top 20, 30 agent in my market, probably based upon my solo production.